Welcome, Ranger fans, to our midweek coaches show where we recap last week and then, of course, talk about in the week to come. And we had some great successes in a lot of sports over the last week. And let's get started. I'm joined by Craig Worstifer and Glenn Hill, our two coordinators on our varsity football team. And we'll start with our big homecoming win last Friday night in football against the MacArthur Bramers. We got off to a hot start, which we had set out to do. Of course, I guess you always set out to do that, but we really just came out hot and really overwhelmed them from the beginning, really, with offense, defense, special teams all clicking as one. And we got a big 62-0 win over MacArthur for homecoming. And that's, we always say to our players, that's your job at homecoming. There's a lot of things that go into that, but your job is to win the game. And we were able to do that. And Coach Worstifer, no first downs allowed in the first half.
Yes, sir. I was proud of our kids. They came out, and like you said, they got off to a hot start, played really well, did a good job of stopping the run. Everybody's gap sound. We did a good job of tackling. Just really pleased with the way we started.
Yeah, big start, and we were +5 in turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over, and we got 5 takeaways. A couple of those were on kicking game, but we also scored on defense.
Yeah, it was really nice to see. Jackson Maynard picked up a fumble and ran it in for a touchdown, and then Tyler McGinnis later in the game got an interception return for a touchdown. It's always fun for those guys on defense to get a chance to score.
You bet. So that's 14 points right there, and just without the offense even taking the field. And I think 2 or 3 other times we got turnovers in the kicking game and others, and we had one-play drives. I think 3 different times our offense scored in one play, going 2 yards, 3 yards, sometimes a little further out than that. But just overwhelmed MacArthur from the beginning. We were clicking, and we were in pretty good sync. And Clay Amaya, continues to excel as our kicker. He didn't punt the other night at all, but just kept kicking those 4.1, 4.2 hang times kickoffs up into that wind. And, MacArthur let a few of them hit the ground. Daniel De Hoyos, a few other guys. We recovered a few, and as I mentioned, led to extremely short fields for our offense, and we were able to go in and score. And then offensively, Coach Hill, 62 points. You'd think, man, just a tremendous night offensively, but we really didn't play that much.
No, we didn't. If you just check the stat sheet, we don't have a ton of yards in the first half because we're benefiting from a 2-yard field, and I believe a 6-yard field. But we're able to punch it in the red zone and the goal line situations, and I'm glad you said we had 62 points. I was joking with Coach Worstifer. If they score 14, that's actually offensive points once it's in the defender's hands. So we'll take credit for that. That's good. But, we spread the ball out a little bit. Cole Freund had 2 touchdowns on the night. Brad Sowersby had 2 really explosive runs for touchdowns and got some other guys carries. Caleb Piegler, freshman, came up for his first varsity game, had 11 rushes for 60 yards. Daniel De Hoyos rushed for over 60, and Dominic DeToto came in late and rushed the ball really well.
It's with the schedule that we play, it's difficult sometimes with a roster of 68, 69 players to play everybody. But this was one of those nights where we were able to do that, and of course get the big win, and moves us to 4-0 in the district play with some other things that went on around the district. That puts us atop the standings by ourselves. Now there's 3 other teams that are 1 game back with 3-1, so it's far from over. But if somebody's got to be in first, we'd like to be the one, and currently we are at 4-0 with 3 games left to play. But unfortunately, 2 of those teams that are 3-1 are still on our schedule, and we haven't played them yet. And the first one, of course, is Boerne Champion, who's playing at an extremely high level. And we've got them this Friday over in Boerne. But before we talk about that game, as we always do at the midpoint of the show, we want to toss it over to Coach Melissa Miller. And she and one of our administration will talk about the week that has happened in other sports and other activities around our campus, and talk about the week ahead, and then we'll come back and talk about our champion game. So, ladies, take it away.
Thanks, Coach Hill. Congrats to football on a huge homecoming win on Friday. Speaking of some other wins that have been going on, volleyball also had a couple of wins last week. They had a huge program sweep over Wagner on Tuesday, and then a huge 5-set win over Kerrville Tivy for our homecoming game. Very, very late night. We went 5 All the other matches went 3. So huge thank you to our players and parents who stuck around long after the football game was over, long after everyone was gone. But it's always nice when you get to walk out of there with some wins. Speaking of wins, cross country competed in their district race last Thursday in Seguin at Starkey Park. Our girls finished 5th overall, which is really, really impressive. We're very proud of them. It's a very, very tough region. A huge shout out to Mia Perez, who got 2nd overall, so she'll be heading to regionals. And then our boys actually brought home 2nd behind Bernie Champion. So another really tough program, really proud of the boys. Huge shout out to Braden Youngdahl, who got 1st, and then to Zabine Martinez, who took home 5th. Because our boys team got 2nd, they will be headed to regionals, and we'll be back in a little bit to tell you where you can find them.
So also, it's, playoff season is always exciting, and when we have teams and kids advancing, it's always fun to see. We have our band who advanced this past weekend. They are moving on to regionals, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. So we're excited to see them continue to go and compete. And just a quick note, on Friday is our Pink Out Day as a campus, so wear your pink in support of breast cancer awareness and research. And then finally, we want to highlight for our students of the week and our teachers of the week. We this week have had 8th graders coming up to campus to get an idea of what their coursework might look like in high school. So it's a lot of information, but it's also a lot of good opportunities for our kids to understand what it means to be a ranger and how their classes look. So our highlights go to our elective teachers who are out there pushing their programs and giving more exposure to everything kids can do. And then our FACS kids and some other groups of kids also have been involved. But our FACS kids are really leading the way with our leadership and orienting kids. They're hosting kids around campus all morning, so they've done a great job this week. We're very proud of them.
Yeah, they've been like in and out of the gym, past my office, and our high school kids are just doing such a good job of getting those kids excited, I think, to become Rangers. It's kind of an electric feel. It's fun. I know it's a lot of work administrative-wise on both of the middle schools too, Spring Branch and Smithson Valley Middle. Thank you for busing them over here, because it's fun for our high school kids to kind of see those people again, but then you can also tell those 8th graders are getting a little taste of what it's like to be a Ranger. And I just think, I know it's a huge planning process, but I think it is completely worth it in the end.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's worth
So
it.
thank you to everybody that was a part of that. Let's talk about where you can find all of our athletes this next week. So volleyball tonight will take on Canyon. It is a big, big game for us. It is our Dig Pink night because we are away on Friday. So we will be honoring some breast cancer survivors and fighters. You can find us in the Smithson Valley Gym at 7 p.m. So again, against Canyon, we would love to have a good home crowd out to watch us at 7. If you can't make it, however, Ranger Network is going to live stream it. So look on social media for that link. And then this Friday, we will also head to Champion, just like football. We will play a little bit before them at 6:30. So if you get there early and want to pop in the gym, we'd love to have some Ranger support out there. It's our second to last district game, so we're winding down district. Tonight's a big game for us, figuring out where we're going to fall in district to move and look into postseason. Postseason continues for cross country. We had Mia Perez and then our boys team qualify for regionals. So next Monday and Tuesday, they're going to head down to Corpus to participate in the regional meet. Stay tuned on social media. We'll have updates for you guys, and then we'll be back next week to talk about our results. And last but definitely not least, tomorrow our girls basketball starts their season. It is a long season, but tomorrow is day 1. So if you're interested and haven't found Coach Sutherland, he is our girls basketball coach. Please see him if you're interested in tryouts or physicals or anything like that. And then next Wednesday on the 25th is when boys basketball will start. So if you are a boy interested in trying out, please see Coach Thornton to get all of that information so that you don't miss out on tryouts. We want to say, as always, a huge good luck to football this week on Friday as they take on Champion at 7 p.m.
So our trivia for the week is, what is a charger? So
When I hear charger, I think of like the decorative plate that goes under your dinner
Yeah.
plate, you know?
yeah, I thought of a phone charger.
Okay. Or like in basketball, someone that charges a lot, you know,
Yeah.
fouls a lot. You could say they're a charger.
Yeah.
I have no
Or
idea.
they take the charge.
They take the charge, sure.
I don't know. Coach Hill, where does the mascot charger come from? Give us a little insight.
Man, a trivia used to be easier. used to dumb it down for us a little bit, but I don't have an answer for that. Coach Hill?
You know, I was a Churchill Charger in high school. They did not teach us what that meant, though, so I'd imagine British horse of some sort, but I don't think Bernie has any ties to that, so.
So horses have nationalities?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, it's a
horse,
British horse.
A
Okay.
horse of some sort.
Okay, well, we'll go with that. Not sure if that's right or not, but
not
we'll
right.
go with that. But speaking of the Chargers, champion Chargers, you know, as I said, one of the teams that's just one game behind us at 3-1. They sustained their first loss after opening with 6 straight wins. They sustained their first loss last week against Wagner. So they, like us, are 6-1. They're one game behind us. And so this is another big ball game for playoff and district championship implications. We're going to play them Friday night, 7 o'clock over in Bernie. This week's game will be live on the Rangers Network, as most of the time, as you know, they're tape delayed, but this week it'll be live, and so you can, if you don't make the trip over to Bernie, you can catch it live on the Rangers Network. But 6-1, 3-1, playing well, that's obvious. Coach, their offense, they got a lot of playmakers.
They got a lot of playmakers. It'll be a tremendous challenge this week. They got a lot of returners back, you know, and it all stems from their quarterback. He's a very explosive, dynamic playmaker. Does a lot of work outside the pocket. Really excellent runner on quarterback draws and things like that. Big offensive line. Got 3 or 4 receivers. They spread the ball around a lot too. That are very explosive. They made a lot of big plays in the passing game as well as the running game. It'll be a tremendous challenge for our kids. We'll have to communicate well and be on our cues to be able to get it done.
Well, it will be. It will be a challenge. And anytime your quarterback is multifaceted like that, you know, it just makes it that much tougher. And you're right, they spread the ball around, so it's not as easy as saying, well, let's get some safety help or let's look to double old number or whatever. They got too many old whatevers to do that. So big challenge there. Defensively, they've got quite a number of returners from a year ago as well.
Yes, sir, they do. They've got a lot of guys back in the secondary as well as their linebackers, predominantly a 3-4 defense. Really good players on the back level. Safeties are quick to fit and they're tremendous tacklers, and same goes for the linebackers. They're very gap sound on defense and obviously well coached, and they're going to be a challenge for us up front.
No doubt. They are well coached and sound in the kicking game as well. So this is one of those games where, you know, there's not really a weakness that you feel like, well, we're going to go in and see if we can exploit this, and if we can, we'll pull away. There really isn't that. You know, it'll be one of those games where you've got to do what you do best. Of course, they're going to do what they do best, and we've got to try to do what we do better than they do what they do. It's a little bit of an oversimplification, but it's that kind of game. And you know, the weather's turning a little cooler. It's starting to be kind of the fall, at least for a few days. And, you know, should be a great evening for football, certainly a great atmosphere with a lot on the line. So we hope you'll make the drive over to Bernie Stadium and cheer on the Rangers as we take on the champion Chargers. Good luck to our team, and, of course, good luck to all of our sports as they go through the coming week. We'll see you next time, and go Rangers.